I'm 38, active duty military, and for the past 10 years, my wife has been in charge of all the financials. She had a general power of attorney so she could handle things while I was deployed multiple times. I rarely spent a lot of money and would just ask if a purchase was okay. I stress easily and was happy to let her handle everything. My wife passed away, unexpectedly, last month. This leaves me and my 11-year-old special needs child at home. After a month, I have finally been able to piece together the nightmare that is the financial situation she left me. I'm torn between grief and anger at this point. Bottom lines: $29K in credit card debt, 3 cards, all maxed. $12K in unsecured debt, 3 personal loans with our bank and 3 loans through a firm. 2 cars, selling hers next week, around $8K left on mine. $560K left on mortgage, home worth around $700K. I went to NFCU this afternoon to discuss options. Bottom line was twofold. Consolidation loan won't work. She tanked both of our credit scores and we just won't qualify. Home equity won't work, as our current 3% rate will spike to at least 7% with the current rates and my credit score. Not to mention I no longer have her income. Not sure what to do or even what direction to look in. More than happy to provide more details if anybody can offer advice.
You have bad credit, a house with a great rate, and hopefully a solid car. I would consider setting aside the unsecured debt, credit cards, and personal loans for a bit. Some of them may be dischargeable with her death. Others you may be able to settle. But for now, I would respond to them once a month and let them know you will begin repayment when you can. Let then continue to tank your credit. You can't really afford to use it even if the score was good. Obviously, you may need to speak with you chain of command on this to protect your job, but you can't get blood from a turnip and the death of your spouse is a consideration. So setting aside the $41K in unsecured debt and 1 car, can you handle your car payment and the house payment? Have you applied for SSI survivor benefits for your child yet? I would also see if any of your credit cards, loans, bank accounts, her work has small life insurance policies. The most important thing to remember is it's just money. Give yourself the time to grieve and spend time with your kid. All the unsecured debt, it's just noise.
Military bases have family support centers who can put you in touch with professional financial advisors and might be able to get some financial support in terms of low-cost loans or grants along with reduced free childcare if needed. Repeat might, because it all depends on your rank or income. For sure, they can provide counseling resources to help you deal with your grief, anger, and professional financial advice. During my time as First Sergeant, I unfortunately had to get involved with too many service members who were in similar situations. With non-military spouses ineffectively handling all household financial situations.
Lots of people have given you general finance advice. There's some military-specific advice you should do as well. Contact Military One Source for resources for counseling, help with your son, and financial advising. Talk to your shirt and leadership. You may also need to talk to JAG, too. You also will have to revise your family readiness plan and look into EFMP since your child is disabled. Your unit also likely had a key spouse group who can also help you. I'm very sorry for your loss. You also need to get multiple certified copies of her death certificate. You may need those to show proof to the lenders that she has passed. SGLI should have paid something out which could also help to resolve debt. In the event you're still liable for her debt, you may consider doing a balance transfer to a card with a lower rate. This probably won't work well, though, since you have low credit. Being a service member does give you some protections when it comes to credit, though. This is also something to discuss with JAG.
Your active duty status may protect you more than you know. From the surface, you have a $100K payment coming for FSGLI, Family Service Members Group Life Insurance, as long as you didn't opt out, which is difficult to do, so if you did opt out, you'd probably remember it. I'm going to make assumptions that you're roughly an E6, E7, and based on your post, roughly 10 years of service. Since base allowance for housing, BAH, is variable based on your locality, I'm not even going to try to assume, but it does sound like your mortgage is well above your back as your spouse was also contributing. So about 4 KMO income, plus BA, minus your mortgage, minus the minimum payments for your cards, unsecured loans, and your car payment. How far down are we without her income? Is your leadership team aware of your situation? If you were one of my airmen, we'd be going to the Airman Family Readiness Center. There are personnel there who have seen situations like this and are ready to advise you financially and frankly emotionally as well. I'm sure your service has an analog to this. Without knowing the various interest rates of your debts, it's difficult to tell you which ones need to go and which ones can stick around. Once again, your military service may be to your advantage here. Some of those loans may be eligible for SCRA protections, which can cap your interest rates. Some banks even set the rates to 0%, worth asking about.